back to another custom review, and today we're looking at the Transformers Rise of the Beast Bayverse colored Scorponok. So here he is in his, I guess, bug mode? Bug mode. Before we look at him, take a quick look at the paints. Let me scroll, get this camera up a little bit. So I actually ended up using both primers this time, gray and white. Then of course the same semi-gloss clear coat, as well as TS45 pearl white, TS42 light gunmetal, TS71 smoke, TS17 gloss aluminum, as well as, come on, focus, chrome silver, red, gunmetal, copper, and finally semi-gloss black. So here they all are. So here they both are in their little bug modes, and as you can tell, this is inspired by the regular Bayverse Scorponok colors, which I think turned out really nice because there's little details in them that's like similarly designed as the original one. Like the bug legs are sort of similarly done. He has like the whole gear system in the middle, like the original one does. At least like it's sort of sculpted in. And plus, I think this figure is like really fun. I wish it had a waist joint, but that's really about my only complaint for it. Everything else I think is pretty fun, even though, okay, I've heard that Sandspear's weapon mode is kind of lame, but those are my only two issues. It's fun otherwise. So speaking of Sandspear, let's go ahead and get into him a little bit. As you can see, he is a small little fella with just really tiny red eyes that did not turn out the best because they're barely sculpted on. I had to like remove some of the paint just to see them. But they're cute. See, he has a very cute face. You can see he has all this. This is where I spray painted him with the pearl whites, and then I sprayed over with the smoke, and then I rubbed some of it off to kind of have this little bit of a fade effect, which on the side I think you can see works pretty well. And then this whole thing I painted with a hand paint semi-gloss black, dry brush silver over it. I did the same with this. I painted the blade itself gunmetal and then the inner bit black. Then dry brush some silver there on the tip, which I think turned out real nice. Which what he's actually based on, if I can find him, where did he go? My scorpion has run away. There he is. Which he's actually based on this little guy. So as you can see, it's like an updated version of these colors. Of course, it isn't one-to-one because this is like super cream white. This is just like a pearly white. It isn't even like white. It's maybe it was white at some point. It looks a bit lighter there, and I don't know. But it's meant to be loosely based on this, which I think this translates over kind of alright. It's inspired. We're inspired. But yeah, we're going to put him back here for now to hang out, where we look at the big boss himself, Scorponok, which I think this looks really nice. I love all the details on the head here that I put on there, a little bit of silver in the middle. All the gear, this took me a hot minute to paint, but all the gear bits there definitely worked out. Did some dry brushing copper for the claws. Some panel lining paints on there. I also painted the inner bits of this black because they had that little texture detail. I thought it'd be fun to bring that out. This bit I actually hand painted silver, or actually I think I dry brushed the silver over this for the most part. So it is a bit different than the rest of it. And also because the rest of it I did, I sprayed it with the silver, which I actually meant to use the gunmetal, but I don't know, my brain just shut off. And I just used silver instead, and then afterwards what I ended up doing is with the gunmetal, and I sprayed it over the textured parts. You can see it on the side here where it's like a lot more silver, but then the top it's a lot more like of a darker silver, which I think honestly turned out for the better. Like it adds more dimension to it, and I think it looks really nice. And I dry brushed copper on the legs. I filled it in more for the actual legs, and it kind of faded out towards the base. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Just to get this comparison out of the way before I forget. Here he is with the original, which while working on this, his whole gear system with the claws gave out on me, so that sucks. But I still like him. I love the original design of Bayverse Scorponok. It's so cool. Like I love the whole engine detail thing he has going on, the massive claws. I don't think this one does it for me quite as much, but it's more traditional Transformers design, so I'd say it's alright. I still like it. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get these two, get him, and I guess both of them. Well, one of them is a weapon, the other one's, you know what I mean. Let's transform them right quick. And here all transformed up, I think they both look pretty great. I really love Scorponoks, but we're gonna go ahead and do Shadow Spear first, since like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of this weapon mode. It's just like, it's just weird to me, because I feel like this should have been like an axe, because if you would have done it like this, and maybe had like the legs fold in, and there be blades sculpted into the sides of these, I feel like that would have made more sense to be like a big axe instead of just the biggest hilt you've ever seen to just the tiniest little blade on the end. Like, his freaking claws are bigger than this blade, you know? Like, so he's not a weapon. He's just a cute little scorpion who can shank you. So I mean, it's about all he's got. We're gonna put him back here. He's gonna be there for moral support. We love him. Anyway, here's Scorponok, and I do think he turned out really nice. I didn't even take too long to do this, anyways. Like, I got the idea, I think, Friday night, and I finished it Monday. So like this was pretty quick to do. Which, let me get a close up on the head. I think the head turned out really nice. Put a lot of little detail in there with the copper. Like the gun. The only thing I think that I didn't paint is just the bit of silver around this gunmetal bit. Everything else in the head I did paint. I also didn't paint the light gray areas and then the gunmetal on the shoulders. I just left that alone. Everything else on here, well, I guess technically like the insides of these. Everything else in here I did paint, which I think turned out really nice. Some of this was an accident too. Like, I was panel lining with this, and like I lifted it up and a huge glob fell in it, and like did all of this back here, so I did all of it on this side too. But I do love the panel lining paint, which actually I just realized I forgot to show. Panel lining paint. I use a lot of, this is like such a simple custom, but I use so much paint on, dear lord. But I do love the color scheme on it. Nice little black highlights on the feet, the panel lining for the legs, and the copper knees. And like I said, that extra dimension of like the little gunmetal spray on the front with the silver on the sides, which I did on there, torso, like all the textured areas I tried to do it on. To do on like the fronts of the claws, but not really like the, actually it translated. It's like on the top. There we go. I love these, like, I love all the copper bits. They just have them shine really bright. I did paint a little bit of turbines in the chests, and I painted that gunmetal. And that little bit in the middle there, gunmetal, but it's kind of hard to tell. Just because it reminded me of this one spot on the original one where it's, like, silver, and then there's a bit of, like, dark gray in there. But yeah, like I said, my only real issue with this figure, like, as a review, is the lack of waste, because they 100% could have put one there. There was all the space to do it, and I feel like it was probably there when they first designed it, just for how easy this would have been, but it probably just budgetary reasons cut it, which again, I mean, I would have been fine if they made him an axe to be a little bit easier. Heck, they could have made like the 5mm port be up here, fold this in, fold these in, and like it still would have been like slightly less parts, and maybe we could have had a waist joint. But for some reason, he has the weird... I feel like it sounds like I hate this little guy. I love this little guy. He's so cute. He has the cutest little eyes I've ever seen. It's just, I wish his weapon mode was better. Speaking of weapons, he does still have his sword, which I think is interesting. He's the only one of these so far that has his own weapon outside of the little Battle Master friendo. Which I think he does rock the sword very well. He's actually pretty stable too because of the bug legs, which one benefit of painting him is these were a lot looser before the paint, but now it's like I can adjust them to where they can like fold back a little bit so they get a little bit more out of the way. I think it looks really nice. And then for one final comparison, get them all situated. Here he is once again with the Bayverse one, one of those useless raw modes of all time. We laugh at it to this day. But, yeah. So, I'm recording this Wednesday, which is actually my birthday. This will be uploaded on Friday. I have not seen Rise of the Beast yet, obviously. I wish I did. I'm so ready for this movie. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it. Probably not. I'll probably mention my thoughts in a future video. maybe in our community posts. I don't know. But I'm really excited for it. Don't spoil it for anyone. Come on, guys. We haven't had a Transformers movie since 2018. It's crazy to think about, but we have not. I'm just so excited. Because I did this custom also to kind of be like a little bit tie-in to Rise of the Beast. A little something timely, you know? Try to do that once every other year on occasion. But yeah, overall, the actual figure itself is pretty fun too. Just quick side note, which I'm definitely getting another one of this. I'm actually hoping Friday that Target might still have one, if I'm lucky. Maybe that 3-pack will finally be on sale. I want Nightbird. I have Wheeljack. I don't care for Cheetah. I just want Nightbird. I don't want enough to buy this set. For $36 for 3 toys, yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, Rise of the Beast hype is real. Ready for it. I've avoided trailers as much as I can. I've only seen the main 2 because I can't avoid those. All the TV spots and the major spoilery stuff I have avoided. I hope everyone else has too and hasn't been too spoiled because there's been a lot of stuff going around that really sucks. But again, the day this goes up, movie will be out. So go to theaters, enjoy it. I hope it's good. Fingers crossed. Looks like a fun time. But yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. So, be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews. And please don't forget to subscribe. You can also check out my Facebook and Twitter pages. Links in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.